I downloaded Tinder on Valentine's Eve to escape what had to be the most depressing weekend of my adult life. I was 45 years old, eating delivery food alone from the container, asleep before 10, and waking up to the same quiet apartment each morning. A voice in my head just decided enough was enough. I hadn't been on a real date in almost 3 years. Ever since my last relationship ended, I'd been telling myself I just needed a little more time. A little time turned into months. That turned into years. My buddy Marcus had been telling me to try the apps for ages, and that Saturday, I finally caved. I matched with Elena 2 days later. Her profile photos were jaw-droppingly stunning. Nearly all of them looked like professional shots of this dark-haired woman in her late 30s. In one, she had captured herself on a beach in Europe, and another at what looked like a fashion event. She listed herself as a lingerie model who had recently moved to the city. I DM'd her, and the conversation moved fast. She was funny in a direct way I wasn't used to. She said she preferred mature men, that younger guys bored her. She called me handsome after I sent a photo. I knew it was probably a lie, but I didn't care. I hadn't been called handsome by anyone in a long time. When I suggested dinner, she surprised me.
"Dinner's too formal,"
she said.
"I'd rather come over and keep things comfortable. Why wait? I have a feeling about you."
Every sensible part of my brain told me this was too good to be true. Men like me didn't get women who looked like her by punching keys on their phone. To top it all off, with the flirty photos and her asking to come over, the universe had to be playing a joke. But I was lonely, frustrated, and desperate. And that combination is infamous for making a man both an idiot and an expert at ignoring real threats. She confirmed for 8 o'clock the next evening. I spent the entire following day getting ready in a way I'm embarrassed to admit. I cleaned the apartment twice, ordered expensive food from a restaurant I've never been to, and even lit candles. I changed my bed sheets in the morning and again in the afternoon because I'd sat on them. By 7:30, I was standing in my kitchen in my best shirt, trying to slow my heartbeat down. The doorbell rang at 8 on the dot. I took one breath and opened the door. The woman standing on my porch was somewhere in her late 60s. She was thin and pale, wearing a dress too young for her. Her hair was dyed dark in a way that didn't even match her skin, and her face was caked in foundation that had settled into every line. Her lipstick had bled past the edges of her lips. She was smiling at me with all her teeth bare. She didn't blink, just kept grinning in a way that made the snacks churn in my stomach.
"Hi, Cody. This is your Elena,"
she purred in a fake, soft, melodic, almost girlish voice that made me gag. I don't remember exactly what I said, something about her having the wrong house. She giggled and said,
"At least let me in once and we'd find out, love."
The embarrassment, confusion, and this creeping wrongness all hit me at once, and I told her to leave and shut the door. The silence that followed was deafening and so creepy. I could literally hear my heartbeat before Elena, if that was her real name, went completely bonkers. She started scratching at the door and rattling the doorknob, screaming at me to let her in. When I yelled at her to go away, she laughed. It got louder and more hysterical as she moved. I could track her by it as she left the porch and started circling the house, trying the side windows, then the back door. The laughter never stopped, just kept going in that same breathless, delighted way, like she was having the time of her life.
"Oh, don't you want me, Cody? This body is all yours, honey. Just let your sugar plum in,"
she sang from somewhere near the back of the house.
"Come on, I came all this way for you. Don't be a prude."
I called the police from the kitchen with every light on, my back against the refrigerator, so nothing could come up behind me. She was still circling and laughing while I was on the phone. The dispatcher told me to stay inside, that someone was on the way. The officers arrived in about 8 minutes. The porch was empty. They walked the perimeter and found nothing. One of them looked at the scratch marks on my front door and asked if they'd been there before. I said I didn't know. They filed a report and left. I sat in my kitchen until 3 in the morning with every light on, listening to every small sound. Her Tinder account was gone by the next morning. I reported it and got an automated response. That was the last I heard of it. I deleted my own account as well. Marcus still asks if I'm back on the apps, and I tell him no and change the subject. I thought about it enough times that the details have started to feel unreliable, in the way memories do when you've turned them over too many times. I don't know whether the woman was dangerous or just disturbed, or whether the scratch marks were already there. What I know is that every light in my apartment was on that night, and I still didn't feel safe. And every time I hear laughter outside my window now, even normal laughter, or kids in the street, there's a half second before my brain catches up, where I'm back in that kitchen with my back against the refrigerator. That half second is lasting longer than it used to.